My new piece is dedicated to Greg Caffrey, Hard Rain's former artistic director. This is both a gesture of personal gratitude for this very welcome commission, but also a gesture of appreciation of the very scrupulous job Greg did in encouraging composers from both north and south of the border, which I think is very important. The title of the piece, Skew Weft, a slightly whimsical title maybe. I was familiar with the expression skew whiff, which means basically askew, but then I learned somewhere that it's actually a corruption of skew weft, an 18th century term used by weavers to describe fabric which is out of alignment. Now, patterns which aren't quite regular are a feature of my work, so I thought this would make a very nice title for the piece and be quite appropriate. As for some listening signposts in the piece, well, it certainly begins very slowly, very harmonically, maybe harmoniously, and works its way towards a kind of demented chromatic ragtime. That's about halfway through the piece. Now, a very clever analyst could show you that those two elements are very closely related harmonically. But in fact, when I started on the piece, I started with that demented ragtime and then composed the slower material and then just couldn't go any further. I was stuck. Then I tried putting them the other way around, kind of skew weft, and suddenly the piece wrote itself from that point, which is kind of an interesting thing that often happens to composers. There's a very agitated interplay between the different dimensions, but the piece ends peacefully. The Piero Quintet, which is flute, clarinet, piano, violin, and cello, it's actually a favorite ensemble of mine. I think probably because I so much love that piece that first deployed at Schoenberg's Piero Lunaire. I started work on the piece, which lasts just over 8 minutes, immediately after completing a huge piece for piano, well, a big piece for piano and orchestra called Anaphora. And that piece will be receiving its premiere next April in the New Music Dublin Festival. Big, ambitious pieces followed by shorter, more playful ones. That's a regularly occurring or recurring feature of my output. In this case, again, it's a bit skew weft because the little after piece, as it were, comes first, and then the bigger piece comes much later.